What's up, guys? It is Mr. GM Sports checking in with Motown Martin today. How are we doing, buddy?
Man, I'm just living a dream. It has been wonderful, and I just can't complain as a Spartan right now.
I just want to throw it out there. You know who is not living the dream right now is our good buddy, Mr. Sherrone Moore.
I mean, I heard he was in, he's not out there with Gen Pop.
Yeah, no, at least he's got protective custody.
Yeah, that's wild, though, especially in Washtenaw County. Like, that man is, quote-unquote, a god in Ann Arbor and surrounding
you would think
areas.
that he would just be sitting there like a celebrity in jail. You would not think that he is in there with the real jail people. Or you wouldn't think that he would have to be separated from the real jail people is what I'm trying to say, because he should be like royalty.
Right, exactly. He's getting everybody's commissary. All the honey buns.
So, for those that don't know, let's go over it.
Okay.
Sherrone Moore, head football coach, Michigan Wolverines. And last week, the Michigan Wolverines lost to the Ohio State Buckeyes. I will be the first to admit that I was calling for Sherrone Moore's job. I felt that he had embarrassed the university by losing to Ohio State. Now, we now know that was the least of his offenses. So Sherrone Moore loses to the Ohio State Buckeyes. And I'm not going to say the Wolverines lost because I believe that it was largely on the coaching.
I can give you that.
But turns out he also lost his wife.
She passed?
No, actually, he passed on to another chick.
All
so Sherrone Moore couldn't keep it in his pants, hired a smoking hot young assistant. Her age has not been confirmed. I want to throw this out here.
Whoa, you said smoking hot guy.
She's hot. She's blonde.
Like an 8. Listen, for a Michigan chick, like a University of Michigan chick, she's hot. She's like an 8. I'll give her 7.
An 8 is pretty high. How many 8s do you just know walking around?
I mean, your wife, my wife. Yeah, no, that's about it.
So moving along.
I'm trying to get brownie points here, guy.
Right. But so he hires this hot young assistant, and I want to throw it out there again. Nobody actually knows her real age.
Fair.
That has not been confirmed by any sources yet. So he paid her a nice salary, $40,000 a year. And he also
50. It was 53.
Oh, okay. Well, that's also probably how many times per day he was shaboinking this chick, as they call it.
Fair.
So Mr. Sherrone Moore was getting a little bit on the side from his assistant.
Oh, he was getting a lot.
Yeah, and apparently he got her pregnant. Allegedly forced her to have an abortion. There is no confirmed on that. She has not broken her silence, and Sherrone is still in jail. So yesterday, the news breaks. Sherrone Moore is fired. And then, what do you know? Not only is he fired, a few hours later, the report is, oh, by the way, he's also been arrested.
Yeah, that man went downhill quick. So just to touch on one thing, so there's also rumors that Paige was sending out, so Paige is the staffer's name.
Yep.
That she was sending out baby invitations to like a baby shower. So there's that speculation.
That's very possible. Like I said, I don't know the abortion stuff. Here's what I do know. There was a lot that has been ignored by the Michigan Wolverines athletic department. So we'll go down this list. Number 1, Sherrone Moore has been sleeping with this girl for a long time. Number 2, players' parents were calling the athletic department earlier this year and throughout the season complaining because she lived in a very populated area where there happened to be players around in the living area. And these players had said, our coach's car is at this chick's house every single night after practice and stuff. And so some parents called, made that complaint, and said, we think he is sleeping with this girl. The players say that his car's there every night. And that was swept under the rug. Ward Manuel did a investigation, as they're calling it, where he pulled them both into a room and said, "Hey, are you guys sleeping together?" And they said, "No." And then he said, "Okay, good." And that was the investigation.
So I want to real quick. I just looked up her age. She's 32.
Bro, she's not 32.
She's been with U of M athletics since 2021.
She's like 12.
Bro,
I mean, she's legal age, but she's very young. There's no way she's 32. Have you seen her?
And why is she still at U of M, knowing that her dad is a longtime scout for the Bears?
Yeah, I would say early 20s at best.
And that's what I was thinking too.
The original report said 19 years old.
Okay.
But nobody actually confirmed that. That was just rumors that he was sleeping with a 19-year-old. So nobody actually knows, from what I knew, unless the reports have changed, which is possible.
All right, now I need to find, let's find her LinkedIn.
All right. Looking up Paige Shivers on LinkedIn. Important part here, though. How does Michigan recover from everything they've been through now?
I hate the way that you phrase that. Just throwing it out there. Like, as a Spartan guy, with everything that Michigan is... No, everything that these guys have put themselves through, their coaches have put these players through, these young athletes. I don't know. I just... With the way that everybody at U of M drug Mel Tucker through the mud, like, this is kind of get back.
I don't think anybody drug Mel Tugger through the mud. I think
he did it himself. But
yeah, I mean, listen, you rub and tug, you get the boot, and that's what he did. He was rubbing and tugging. Bro, the Mel Tucker situation is so much worse because he molested someone who...
That's a strong word, guy.
That's the allegations. I wasn't there.
Sexually assaulted via video call.
Bro, sexually assaulted and molested is the same thing.
I don't know.
Okay, so he sexually assaulted someone who was there to speak at the women's conference on surviving sexual assault. And then he got her number at that conference.
Bro, they had a relationship. They were intimate prior to that.
Were they, though? Were you there?
I mean, yes, the girl was a freak, but whatever. No, I was not. And I hate, I'm not victim shaming, but also when there's payments being made, like, I think it's a little bit more than what she let on.
I mean, it's probably the case. However, all we know is that Tugger did what typical MSU people do, and, not only has MSU now had the biggest sex scandal in college football history, they have also, two of them, they have also disgraced the state of Michigan. What else? What else did they do wrong? Because they've done a lot. Oh, yeah, they had to vacate wins. I forgot. Michigan's never done that before.
It's about to happen.
That's never going to happen. Why would Michigan vacate wins?
Bro, that athletic director there is a joke.
Ward Manuel is the worst athletic director.
Like, this is now the second scandal in 2 years. Like, so I was reading a story today that this is the biggest scandal in college football since the last Michigan scandal.
You're not wrong.
Like,
you're not
there's
wrong.
There's a track record coming here.
So let me give you a little statistic. And I hate it because I am a Michigan guy. Everybody knows that I am a Michigan guy. Since Jim Harbaugh left the university, there has been 7 people arrested and 4 sex scandals at Michigan. And Harbaugh's been gone for 2 years.
Yeah, but a lot of it stemmed from him.
Three coaches and 4 players have been arrested. And there's been multiple suspensions handed out. And, yeah, still going.
I think he set the precedent, to be honest with you. I know he's gone, so I can't, he can't be really held responsible. But I think a lot of that stems from him. It was a culture thing.
Honestly, I think I could not disagree more.
Really? Okay.
I think that the culture died when Harbaugh left. I think that Harbaugh is a traditional Michigan man and kind of stuck to those traditional blue-collar mentality type stuff. I felt like after he left, he took the culture with him, and it kind of became the Ward Manuel culture, and that's what you saw. If you look at Ward Manuel, you see a weak, spineless joke of an athletic director, and that's what he turned the program into. Weak, spineless, no morals, just running as a free-for-all. And now you're seeing that unfold.
I don't know if that's putting a lot on just him. Because, I mean, I'm a firm believer.
He's in charge of the athletic program.
For sure. But,
He's the director.
The head coach is the one who stuck his penis and, couldn't keep it in his pants.
Bro, how did Ward Manuel turn a blind eye to that when he knew it was happening? Completely. I mean, that's where my biggest problem is. Ward Manuel knew it was happening, and he said, nah, we're going to turn a blind eye to this. We can't have that going on.
Yeah, and that goes back to the thing I've always said, a good cop who stands by and watches a bad cop do something wrong. You, at this point, can't be a good cop. And so who else is involved or who else knew about this?
And that was what I said in my video yesterday. I had a video, I might have actually posted that one this morning, and I had a video that, got a little bit of traction. And that was the whole point of the video is hey, when something like this happens, it's not just one person. So how many other people are roped into this that we don't know about yet?
Right.
And a lot of times recruits coming in, or not even recruits coming in, but players have a much tighter relationship with their position coaches that they spend every day with than the head coach. So the real fallout is not going to be Sherrone Moore. It's going to be, are there assistants that are roped into this that now they have to go to? That's where you'll actually see the fallout start to happen with Michigan football, which hopefully there is no fallout. But if there is, that's where it's coming from.
And I think there was bound to be fallout in some positions anyway. But, yeah, this definitely shook things up. I think it's a little weird that it broke after National Signing Day, considering this alleged affair has been going on allegedly since last November of 24.
I can tell you why they waited. It's literally because of the culture thing I was just talking about. They have, if you read through the timeline, which I don't even think we finished going over the timeline, but basically Michigan fired him, and then he left the building at about 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock he was fired. 4 o'clock he arrived at girlfriend's house, put a knife to his throat, said, yo, I'm killing myself, but I'm taking you with me. And he said, you're going first. Now, something happened. Nobody knows what exactly happened, but he got spooked and left the residence. At that time, he was picked up by the Saline police, courtesy of his wife using his location to help the cops locate him. He was arrested outside of a church there by the Saline Police Department, and around 8:30 was transferred into the Washtenaw County Jail. However, Michigan did not announce the firing until 37 minutes after Sherrone Moore's arrest. Here's why they waited till after signing day, though. Again, culture. Because Ward Manuel conducted his own review, his own audit or investigation, whatever you want to say, and said, you know what? I think that this will go quietly. I think we can get away with this. If you look at the timeline that the Board of Regents has presented, the investigation concluded 2 weeks before the Ohio State game, or about a week and a half-ish, and he had made the decision, Sherrone Moore is not getting fired for this, not that big of a deal. Now, he decided to sweep it under the rug, culture, because he was okay with letting that slide. But then when we lost to Ohio State, people start bringing it up, start mentioning, whoa, he had this. And then it gets a little more attention, and suddenly you want to act on it, right?
Fair.
He wasn't going to act on it still. He was going to sweep it under the rug, but when he could see the writing on the wall that things were about to go sideways, that's why they pulled the trigger, and I think it just took that time to actually do a real thorough investigation and find evidence that was like, yo, we got to get rid of this guy, dude, no matter how bad you want to fight for him.
All right, that's kind of fair. I mean, yeah, that ties into the culture for sure. I mean, listen, he's just like everybody else in a corporation. Like, save yourself first.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, just a whole wild situation. I mean, how do you trust as a coming in freshman, as a transfer even, like somebody, a hopeful transfer, how do you trust the program moving forward after this happens?
I think the trust begins with, number one, you fired the guy that was considered the head of the mischief, right? The head of the problems is now gone.
Is it though? Ward Manuel still there, is it?
So here's the thing. I'm just saying, like, if you're looking at it from a recruit point of view, you're saying, okay, Sherrone Moore was the guy doing the dirt, and he's gone now, so we're good. Like, I remember as a player in college, didn't really speak to the athletic director unless there was a problem. Most guys never talked to the athletic director.
Fair.
She just existed. The only time that I really remember conversations with her, we would see her at the basketball games because she went to every basketball game. And then when our coach quit on us, she came in to make the announcement that he had resigned prior to the season. And, I mean, you didn't see a lot of her unless you just saw her around the campus. And so you got to assume that's how it is with Ward, too. He's not actually involved in these guys' life. He's just the one calling the shots behind the scenes.
Michigan is football. The AD is definitely involved in their life.
How often do you think Ward Manuel's realistically down there, like, hanging out with the guys? Because he does not seem like that kind of guy to me. He should be if you're the head of Michigan football.
Yeah,
but he doesn't strike me as someone who gives a crap.
That's fair. It's a paycheck to him, which...
Yeah. What I will say is that as of right now, like, the sources all say that the Board of Regents is actively in meetings, have been all throughout today and will be through the coming weeks, deciding whether or not to fire, Ward Manuel. The problem with this is, if you're an incoming coach, obviously Michigan is like top 10 premier jobs in sports, right? If you're looking at like the best jobs in sports right now that people are coveting, you got the Yankees. You'd love to have that job. The Dodgers job would be really attractive. Ohio State Buckeyes, Georgia Bulldogs, Bama, Michigan, and then you go into the NFL and you got like big markets, New York Giants, Green Bay Packers. I mean, not a big enough market, right? But that job's also not going to come open anytime soon. Let's be real here.
Right.
Dan Campbell's great. But you got one of the best jobs, and how are you going to go into a situation where you might have a coach that's getting fired, you might have a new athletic director, or not athletic director, sorry. You might have an athletic director getting fired. Coach just got fired. They've had 2 coaches in a row with scandals all over them. They've had multiple arrests, and it's just been thing after thing after thing. And the president of athletics right now is a interim because they haven't found a new president of athletics who they fired as well for scandals.
All right. So it sounds like the culture at Michigan is scandalous.
It wasn't supposed to be. It wasn't when Harbaugh left. Harbaugh ran a good, clean ship. And honestly, if Harbaugh, Connor Stalions, Jesse Minter would have been able to stick around, you'd probably see a whole different culture.
So Harbaugh ran a tight ship.
Yes.
But yet he was suspended.
Wrongfully.
That's objective.
I think he was wrongfully suspended because Ward Manuel chose not to fight for his guy. If you look at it, a lot of people think that they won't go coach while Ward Manuel is there because Ward Manuel ran Harbaugh out.
You really think that? Mm-hmm. All right. That's the first time I've heard that, so that's interesting.
If you look at it, man, the biggest problem with the whole thing is that Ward Manuel sat down and took it like a dog. The whole time he was just like, yeah, okay. And like that was what started the whole thing, is that Harbaugh spoke out against the NCAA, and then suddenly the NCAA is all over Michigan. And all he said was players should be allowed to get a share of the money that the college football playoffs earns the NCAA. Players should get a cut in that. And the NCAA didn't like it. And that was when the rift started. And then Ward Manuel said, hey, Go after him, not me. It's not me, it's him. And threw him under the bus.
Oh, so Ward's definitely getting a cut. He's definitely greasing some pockets.
You have to assume so. I mean, he's never done anything else productive.
Right. So I got to ask you, there's two big questions right now that I have anyway. Who is your short list for incoming coach? Give me the top 3 guys.
So as soon as the news broke, that was my first thought. And, of course, if you're Michigan, it's the Michigan Wolverines. You're going to go after a big name, right? You have to at least swing at – you're making the phone call and saying, hey, is Dan Lanning available? Is Marcus Freeman available? Is Nick Saban available? Like, you're calling these big names because you're Michigan and because you can. You're obviously going to call Cignetti and say, hey, are you sure you want to keep that extension with Indiana? You're going to make those calls. But the 3 guys that I would say are my short list is number 1, Jesse Minter. He's a Michigan man through and through. He's with the Chargers right now. Only reason that I wouldn't go with him is because of the fact that he's never been a head coach. But, I mean, he's a fantastic young defensive-minded coach, and he would keep the Michigan culture because he knows the Michigan culture, and he's already got a ring with Michigan. Number 2, John Gruden. Love it. John Gruden's just an electric guy. Love everything about him. And he loves quarterbacks, and we need a guy who can develop a quarterback. So, yeah, John Gruden would be electric, and he's won a championship before. He's a good coach. He knows what he's doing. Number 3 would probably be John Harbaugh, just because it'd be cool. You know, you get Jim, then John. He knows how to develop quarterbacks. Look what he did with Lamar Jackson. He knows how to treat mobile quarterbacks. He knows how to run the football. He developed Jesse Minter. He developed our defensive coordinator before that, too. He's a freaking good coach, and he knows what he's doing, and he's probably going to get fired from Baltimore this year because it's just been too long since they won a championship. After that, I'd say maybe Joe Brady enters the mix, the Bills' offensive coordinator.
Any relation to Tom?
No.
Okay.
That would be cool, though. A lot of people said it would be cool if Tom Brady came, but that's not going to happen, and that wouldn't go well because Tom's never coached.
Right, and that's great players don't make great coaches. But also great position coaches don't make great, assistant coaches or coordinators. Great coordinators don't make great head coaches, right?
Right.
I mean, look at Sherrone Moore. Last year he was, an offensive line coach?
So 2 years ago he was a few years ago he was an offensive line coach, and then he moved up to be an offensive coordinator and went from coordinator to the head coach now for the last 2 seasons.
I heard a rumor that it was in Harbaugh's leaving contract that Sherrone Moore, it was in his contract that if he ever left, Sherrone Moore was to take over as head coach.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that whole thing was orchestrated by Harbaugh.
Okay.
The entire move for Sherrone Moore, that was his hand-picked guy. But clearly Sherrone Moore, I mean, he's young. Got to think 39 years old is a younger coach. But he was not ready maturity-wise to handle that kind of power. And, I mean, you saw what his wife said. Said it was a consistent abuse of power. It was. He wasn't ready to handle the power and the responsibility. And you give a young guy that kind of money and that kind of power, and, yeah, he's going to make stupid mistakes.
This is more than a stupid mistake. This whole situation, anyway.
I mean, the whole thing is a stupid mistake. It's just a bunch of repeated mistakes.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Stupid, over and over and over again. It's not a one-time mistake, but it's very stupid.
Yeah, and, I mean, in golf, that's what they call a round killer, compounding mistakes. So I pulled up Sports Illustrated. They got 10 candidates to become the next Michigan man. Of the names you said, there are 2 here.
Who?
So to top off the list, they've got John Harbaugh.
Okay.
Then they got Kalen DeBoer, Alabama's head coach.
I've seen that, but I just don't see him leaving Bama. I don't know.
Why
Why would you? It's Bama.
Yeah, and that's also how I feel about Marcus Freeman right now.
Yeah.
But then they got Brian Kelly,
Oh God.
former LSU coach.
I would
Played
probably
for Lane
Sherrone
Kiffin.
Moore myself.
You what?
I said I would Sherrone Moore myself.
Man. Because it was him that was at Notre Dame for a while, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
And
what I-
LSU.
Yep. And then his brother was at Central and went out to Oregon.
Bro, I'm not going to lie to you. Your mic has moved so far away from your mouth. Oh, there it is. There it is. All
My
right,
bad.
repeat that. What did you say about Brian Kelly?
Because Brian Kelly coached at Notre Dame
Mm-hmm.
and then went to LSU.
Mm-hmm.
His brother Chip is the one who coached at Central.
I'm not going to lie, bro. I do not think they are brothers.
I mean, I'm just going to go with it because to have a firstie is kind of weird. But then they got,
I'm so sure.
but then they got Kalani Sataki, BYU's
yeah.
head coach.
He's not leaving. No
Yeah.
chance. He just signed a fat extension and just gave a heartfelt speech to all the boys. I promise I will never leave you.
Yeah, I mean, Saban did that at every school he was at, too. So did Lane Kiffin.
But Saban didn't leave either.
Yes, he did. Saban left Michigan State for Bama.
Yeah, but that's because nobody cared about Michigan State. And also, wasn't Michigan State in between his pro tenure? Because he went Michigan State, Cleveland Browns for a few years, then LSU, then Bama, after winning a national title at LSU.
I mean, he still said that he wasn't going anywhere. But then your second, another pick that you had, Jesse Minter. Then we got Brian Dabble, former Giants head coach.
Brian Daboll, no, not a chance. He sucks. They would never, and he's not a Michigan man. They won't do that, I hope.
Yeah.
If they do, you will just see me in Tennessee gear next year. I will become an SEC guy if they bring in Brian Kelly or Brian Daboll.
Really? Okay. So let's keep going through Jed Fish, Washington's head coach.
I don't know. There's a lot of Michigan players begging the university to do it. So I don't know how much you know about his background, but he was actually the quarterback coach during Harbaugh's early years, and he developed Wilton Spate and Jake Rudock, and then kind of springboarded that into head coaching positions.
All right. So next, Jason Eck, New Mexico's head coach.
Honestly, don't know anything about him. I'd be interested to see if they bring him in for an interview, if he's realistically being considered. But I know he's done an okay job at New Mexico. I wouldn't necessarily think that you go out and get somebody that has no ties to the university, but hey.
Yeah, so he, former Wisconsin offensive lineman. So that's kind of his tie to Big Ten.
I do like guys who run the ball.
Fair. And then he won 9 games at New Mexico in his first year. Lance Leopold, Kansas head coach. And then,
Not on my list.
yeah, Kansas?
He's okay. I mean, he won some big games last year, but no, not on my list.
And then Jake Dickert, Wake Forest head coach.
I could see it. I mean, if you're looking for somebody offensive minded, but yeah, I don't know. I think you got to go with someone that knows how to develop a quarterback. I like the idea of sticking with someone with Michigan ties, but you got to make sure that you get somebody that knows what the heck they're doing with a quarterback. That is very, very important, especially when you have a young quarterback who struggled this year.
So that brings me to my next question. He has dropped all U of M ties from his socials. He had a camp scheduled for June through his agency, and the image on that has now changed. Whether it's a coincidence or not, the helmet on it is purple.
For
His
what?
camp that is scheduled to be hosting at Skyline High School in Ann Arbor in June. It used to be him in a U of M uniform.
Right.
Now it has no U of M ties. His social media no longer has U of M ties to it, allegedly. I haven't looked into it because I don't care. He's a good kid, but $13 million is not worth that.
I'm pulling it up right now because I got to see, because I have not heard anything of the sorts, and I have been looking and looking.
All right, I'm going to send you the picture of the camp that I took today.
All right. I'm going to pass you my phone, and I'm just going to go on record and say that right now you're wrong.
Oh, this table's too long.
So we just got a brand new long table, guys. Brand new used long table. So that was actually me laying all the way across the table just to reach his hands.
Yeah, so he still has images of, but like his tag of U of M athletics,
Right.
or U of M football, no longer there.
But
yes, he's still in his uniform.
his jersey is his background.
Yeah, it's his profile picture.
Yeah.
But how would you know that it's Bryce Underwood?
Because of his name.
Bro.
And the hundreds of thousands of followers.
How many burner accounts do you have?
4.
Right. So it's super easy to just throw a name on it.
All right, hold on. I'm going to look something up.
So I was thinking, even prior to this whole scandal, Lane Kiffin gets $25 million in NIL budget every year. Do you think Bryce was leaving prior to?
I don't think he was leaving at all.
No?
I still don't think he is leaving. They do say the one thing that kind of gave some fuel to the fire is that after the news yesterday, it looks like he just took the U of M quarterback part out of his bio and followed LSU football on Instagram. If I have to guess, I think he's trolling because that's what everybody is looking for. They have a 15-day window to transfer right now. Started yesterday.
Okay.
And
so I was under the assumption the portal didn't open until the 2nd.
Anytime a coach is fired, you're given an immediate 15-day portal window that starts the day he's fired, and you can immediately play for any other team.
So when does the 30-day rule go into effect? Is that?
I don't know about the 30-day rule, but I know that the portal will be open from January 2nd to January 16th. Okay. And today the portal is open for them until the 25th, so until Christmas.
Okay.
I think that if Bryce leaves, it's going to be really disappointing. I do think Michigan has quarterback options. I think they have a couple good recruits coming in, and they have guys that'll be there for next year. But I think it would be really stupid if he does leave. I think that would say a lot about him. As soon as the going got tough, he just skipped ship, especially if they're trying to get a good offensive-minded coach. I think the most important thing they can do right now is just make sure that they have him looped in on it and get a guy that he's going to feel comfortable playing with. Make sure the coach is comfortable with him. Make sure he's comfortable with the coach.
So you're picking a coach based around Bryce.
I wouldn't say based around Bryce as much as I would say based around is he going to be someone that can develop Bryce? Because obviously you don't want to do it just because of Bryce, but if he can develop him and vibe with him, he's going to be able to do it with the next guy. So you have to think, this is the guy we have right now. We're going to get another guy just like him. Is the thought process. Now, will you? You never know. But you have to go in with that thought that, yes, we are going to.
Okay. Do you think Portnoy's podcast with Urban Meyer would have anything to do with Bryce wanting to leave if he did?
No, I don't know. I mean, I think it could have, but I also think that Portnoy's not wrong. He did nothing to earn extra money.
Fair. But did he do much to earn $13 million?
No, but that's the whole point. That's why he said, he's like, yo, this dude would have a lot of stones if he comes and asks for more money after that. He threw 9 touchdowns. So did Davis Warren.
Fair. Yeah, no.
Now, he ran for touchdowns, and he did look better, but...
So did the Louisville quarterback.
Yeah, look isn't everything. Yeah, at some point, you have to put up some numbers. Ooh, excuse me, I'm tired. I'll be real interested to see what happens in the bowl game and if Bryce is still there. If Bryce is still there at the bowl game, he's staying. If he's not still there at the bowl game, that means that he has either transferred or he's getting himself ready to transfer.
So the way I see it is this bowl game is going to essentially affect his trade stock. Like if he were going into the NFL. Like he hasn't done much at U of M. How can you knowingly throw money in an NIL deal to attract him if he's that great of a caliber quarterback?
They are actually saying right now that he's a 13 to 15 million guy on the portal.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so they're saying that he'll get the same, if not more. And that's why Dave was like, yo, if somebody wants to throw the kid $20 million, take it.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't blame Dave. I think Lane Kiffin's the guy to do it.
I think Lane is the only one that would maybe do it, and he's at the school that Bryce was committed to.
And he's got a $25 million budget just for NIL every year.
Yeah, that's because their NIL budget is funded by the tax dollars in Louisiana. That's hard to compete with.
Listen,
that's hard to
if
compete
we
with.
could have our tax dollars go to NIL deals instead of both roads.
Yeah, I would do it.
Yeah, in a heartbeat.
We just need a governor in that cares about important things like football.
I mean, until then, we just have, BS organizations, shell companies, whatever. Anyway.
Different podcast.
So I want to know, back to the original topic we were on today, what does Paige's future look like with Michigan football in general? But does any other team want to touch her at this point?
I mean, she is a hot blonde woman. It's going to be very easy to play the victim of the powerful black head coach forced me to do this, and I never wanted to, and he molested me or whatever she wants to do. It's very easy for her to play that card, and she'll get another job just fine if she doesn't stay at the university, because all she would have to do is go to the university and be like, he forced me to do it, and he told me that he was going to do such and such if I didn't.
I mean, he didn't threaten to kill her, so just throwing that out there.
It's true, and himself.
But, I mean, this is a year.
Why does every guy threaten to kill himself as soon as they get caught cheating? Like, why is that the easy cop-out of like, well, I'm going to kill myself?
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I cheated multiple times in my prior years, and not once did I threaten to kill myself.
Why not? I mean,
apparently
I'm
not man enough.
That's the go-to excuse. I don't know.
Like, I don't know. And now I have no sympathy for him. Like, you chose that. That is the path that you chose. You had two options. This is what you chose. Yes, he essentially got hood rich because he had a big come up, yada, yada, yada. That's no excuse. It really pisses me off that this is now two black head coaches caught up in sexual assault scandals within Michigan and the Big Ten with very little representation in as a head coach anywhere. And so now it sets every potentially great coach back 25 years because of these two a-holes.
Okay. Now I just want to ask a tough question for you.
All right.
Okay. While I do agree with you, do you think that if there was a bunch of really good black head coaching candidates, teams would be passing them up just based off their skin color? Or do you think that maybe because they are the minority, that there just happens to be less good candidates that entered that job field?
I don't think there's less good candidates. I think that they're still equally qualified. But if you have
statistically, though, how would that be possible? If there are less people, there's less black people than there is white people,
right?
And there's less black people in that workforce than there is white people, then talent-wise they might be the same good, but there is a lesser number of them, is what I'm getting at. The number of pool is smaller.
So some would say that as a black male, you have to be twice as good to earn anything. I think that's a crock of crap, to be 100% honest.
Yeah, I mean, just look at Mel Tugger.
Yeah, it was an arrogant piece when he came in. Like, his energy was cool, don't get me wrong. But as leaders of young men who are predominantly black, who play in college football, in football in general, this is the example that we set for our young men to grow up and perpetuate the same images that they see in college.
Yeah.
And we have parents that are trusting these coaches to look out for their kids, because some of these kids travel across the country. But back to your question.
Yeah.
Yes, because to play into the fact of the smaller sample size, if majority of the smaller sample size is acting in a certain way that could affect the image of your business, because that's what colleges and college football is, you're going to shy away from them.
Yeah.
Regardless of how good of a coach they are. And there's a smaller portion size. So they kind of go hand in hand together, in my opinion.
Do you know how many black head coaches there are in Division I FBS football?
I do not.
Okay, so there is 136 FBS teams. Would you care to take a guess how many of those head coaches are black?
There's 136.
Yes.
All right. I would say maybe 20.
It is lower.
12.
A little higher. It's 15. So there's 15. There was 16. This article is not updated to reflect the Sherrone Moore arrest. But, yeah, there's 15. So what's that percentage? Like 7%?
11.
Is it?
Yep. 15 divided by 136 is 0.110.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, that sounds great. Yeah. Well, hey.
So 11%. Now, I wonder, can you look up how many black coaches there are total? Not just head coaches. And we could even say assistants, because usually a position coach isn't going to jump right to a head coach.
Fair.
I mean, I still see that number at maybe 40.
It says 50%. It says that because of fluctuation, it fluctuates between 48 and 50% of assistants are black. Because you have to think, you have graduate assistants, you have interns that are assistants, you have position coaches. So there's a lot. If every roster has 40, 30, 40 coaches, whatever they have, it's a lot. And then you got the younger people. And then you got, some schools are in predominantly black areas.
Right. All right, that's fair. I find it hard to believe, but I don't have irrefutable evidence to deny it.
I mean, it's fair, but wonder how many black coordinators, because the coordinators are...
I guess that would have been the better word that I should have used.
Well, because, I was looking at there's, thousands of coaches, so I was looking at the total scope.
Right.
Let's see. It doesn't even give me a number when I search that. It just says that black offensive coordinators are incredibly rare. Okay, so 12 black coordinators, 12 black offensive coordinators.
All right, so that puts us at 9%.
Don't know about defense.
That puts us at 9%.
Yeah, don't know about defense, but...
So combined between offensive coordinators and head coaches, there's what?
About 10% of the workforce.
Yeah, okay, so extremely smaller sample size.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think...
And 2 out of 20 have major sex scandals recently.
Exactly. So, yes, I'm looking at that demographic a little bit differently.
Just for the record, Mr. Motown is a black person. So just want to throw that out there that he is not a racist.
Oh, I definitely am. I hate everybody. I don't care what your race is. But no, and it just, as a corporation, as a large business owner, predominantly ran by higher echelon white men, yes, I'm a little more selective when it comes to who I'm choosing as a coach to represent and be the face of my program. I mean, Michigan State still has the Mel Tucker stigma.
Yeah.
This is now going to be Michigan's kind of black mark for a couple years now.
Yeah, I will say I did look it up. I know that Sherrone Moore is the only black head coach in Michigan history, and he did not do a great job of representing the community. Mel Tucker is actually the second black coach in Michigan State history. However, he was fired. The other one was also fired. No sex scandal, though.
All right. Was it drugs?
No, he just was a bad football coach.
Okay, fair enough.
So just a pure, clean, garbage football coach. Then I can deal with that.
Yeah. Hey, if you're bad at this, cool. Let's demote you. Let's find a position that will work for you, and we don't have to sacrifice a season for it.
Now, I did get a little bit of heat for this, so I want to know where you stand on this. I don't think that if Sherrone Moore's only offense was having sex with his executive assistant, that he should have been fired for that.
100% he should.
Should or shouldn't have?
Should have.
Why?
I mean, you are a leader to young men. This is...
You think that they're not having sex?
Not that they're not having sex, but if you're making a commitment, how can you expect your players to be committed to the team? If you can't be committed to your wife as a leader to these players.
I think he was committed to getting some titties.
I mean, he definitely was.
And he succeeded.
He did. Hey, he's successful.
So listen, you got to look at it this way. He saw a hurdle in his way, his wife, and he overcame the hurdle and got onto greener, younger, pinker pastures.
I mean, fair. But how many of the guys on the team have been in the same place? Like, you're now Eskimo brothers with your players.
True. Didn't think
and that's
about
nothing
it that
against
way.
Paige. I don't know her.
Right.
But
I mean, none of us do. But I mean, I don't think that grown adults having consensual sex should be allowed to be fired for that, regardless of the power structure.
What is where you work? What is the fraternization policy there?
I think as long as you're not a direct oversight or like a direct boss of the person.
Oh, so like an executive assistant for you?
I mean, here's the thing. I believe you would just have to file paperwork, but you'd probably still get fired. But, like, that's what I don't get about America. Why is it that people can't just, hook up and move on? Because they literally monetize sex to be the biggest business in the world. They've monetized it. You got OnlyFans. You got all these websites. But yet, two consenting adults, regardless of power structure, can't do what they want to. That's kind of crazy. So, like, while I respect that it is wrong, I just think that it really shouldn't matter as far as job performance. If you're good at your job, you're good at your job. And she was very good at multiple jobs, and that's
Apparently.
why she got the position.
Several of them, I'm assuming. But so my other issue with it, too, is that you couldn't be honest. Neither one of these grown adults could be honest when asked a simple question.
Yeah, that's no. I agree with you.
My other issue with Sherrone is how he handled the situation once it came out.
Crazy.
Like, full-on crash out.
Now, I do want to say there is a report out there that's quite, terrible, and this just goes back to Ward Manual. There's a report out there saying that some of the staffers came to Ward Manual and said, hey, if this is going down, we need to make sure that this is handled in a very graceful way. Because
discreet, right?
Well, yeah, that, and they said Sherrone Moore has been having some mental battles, and we think that he might be suicidal. This needs to be handled very carefully and make sure that, just that they're doing things right. Like, you're not going in and just saying, hey, bud, you're fired.
Right.
And so, they were trying to be conscious. They're like, hey, he's having some mental struggles outside of this case. We need to make sure that we handle this right so that you're not setting the guy up to go and, kill himself or try to kill somebody else. And he said, okay. And those guys left his office, and he walked to Sherrone Moore's office alone. No security, no staffers, no backup, no nothing. Knocked on his door, told him he was fired, and told him to get out, and that was it. So after getting that advice and them telling him, hey, this guy's suicidal, this needs to be handled really well, he was like, no.
So I've got a source that seems to be, he's got some kind of connection within that's close to the organization.
Okay.
And it's a very similar story to what you just told, was that Sherrone Moore went up to Ward Manual and said, hey, I've been struggling with mental health issues. And that's when he got fired, again, with no HR, no type of representation.
He's just like, you're done.
And so now it brings the question, we've seen that Sherrone's wife is coming out saying, listen, it's a power issue within the organization, and they have a legal team. So it begs to bring, do they sue for wrongful termination?
Probably not wrongful termination, but there's got to be something where, like, clearly the University of Michigan is not providing their people with the right resources. Because you have Sherrone Moore and this huge fallout. Another guy, Ernest Hausman. Are you familiar with his story at all?
I am not.
So, fantastic player, 4-year captain for Michigan, great guy, Christian, and
How long ago was this?
this year.
Okay.
So this was his senior year. He was the captain. He was a star linebacker for the team, and he went and he had this spiritual awakening thing, and he was very excited. He's like, "Hey, I think I want to go into ministry. This is really cool." He kind of had this like vision. And so he was really happy, and he had this vision. And he was like, I want to try to get some clarity on this. So he went to the coaches and some other members of the athletic staff that are like the people he spends every day with. And he's like, listen, I need to run this by you guys because this is something that's like important to me, and I trust you guys. Like, so here we go. He kind of described his vision, described his spiritual journey, and he was like, what do you guys think? I need some help kind of figuring out what this means, all that kind of stuff. And they marked him as, they like restrained him and brought him to the psychologist there on campus and marked him as a suicide watch guy or a homicide watch guy and said that he was insane and had completely lost it. And so he, with 2 games left in the season, quit the team and said, I'm not going to support a university where someone shares a spiritual thing that happened and they get marked as a mental patient. So he quit and he moved back to Uganda where his family's at.
Good for him.
Might have been Nigeria. It was one of the two, but he moved back to wherever his family's at and then stayed silent until the season was over and then made a post and said, hey, I'm not going to support an organization that treats people like this. I'll be back to play football, but it ain't going to be there.
Good for him, though. Like, to be able to stand on your convictions, not many... 23?
Yeah, 23, 24, something like that.
I mean, we don't even have a 39-year-old who can stand on his convictions. So to get that out of a 23-year-old,
yeah,
like that speaks volumes to the type of person he's going to be.
And that's amazing for him, but it also just brings right back to there's some serious problems within the Michigan football program and really the whole school. And the more things that happen, the more obvious it becomes that they need to do something major.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's even deeper than the University of Michigan when it comes to spirituality and religion. You see players in the NFL who get fined for John 3:16 on their eye black, or
Stupid.
Tim Tebow, all the scrutiny that he got when he was playing. Like, it's not okay to believe in anything but the education system that is taxpayer funded. That's weird.
The experimental education system.
Yeah. Oh, man, don't get me started on that one. But no, yeah, and it's sad that we are, one, mental health being such a big issue, especially like something you and I are both passionate about.
Yeah.
And we put all this pressure on these 18 to 22, 23-year-old kids.
And I'm guilty of it. I'm a little too hard on the guys. Now, on the one hand, it's like, hey, you're getting money to do this. You better be good. But also, you have to understand they are human. It is a game, and the pressure's real. And like the things that these guys are going through are real, and we're asking them to learn about life and learn how to be good young men, while also putting all this pressure on them. A lot of it's unrealistic.
And being away from their support system that they've known up until this point. So you're 18 years old, still especially as a male, like still trying to figure out your emotion and your passion and all this stuff, and all of a sudden I've got 110,000 people screaming at me because I missed a field goal.
Right.
Like,
I will say I'm a horrible example for this because I was married when I was 18 years old. However, I agree wholeheartedly.
Still handle emotions terribly, so perfect for it.
False. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up because, I don't want to run too long, and I feel like we've covered it. But I want to wrap it up by asking one more question for you. Sherrone Moore fired and then allegedly assaulted this girl, threatened to kill himself, threatened to kill her. He has not received any charges. The police department did say today that they would not be charging him with anything today, and that tomorrow is when they are expecting to review his case and potentially present charges. Do you think that he should be charged, or do you think that the way that his entire life has just imploded is equal to, if not greater than, the punishment? All right, so I just asked that question, right? And I gave a great explanation of the question. So mid-question, Motown stands up and takes off running. And not only was he running, he was holding himself, and this guy looked like he was about to pee his pants. So he was holding his, ding-a-ling, running towards the toilet. So now I'm here stuck waiting for him to return just to answer the question, because somebody couldn't wait one more minute to take a piss.
Where my eyeball?
All right, Motown. Back to it.
Sorry about that. My eyeballs were floating.
Yeah, okay. So, is the punishment of his entire life imploding punishment enough, or do you foresee him receiving charges, or does he deserve charges for just breaking into someone's house and threatening to murder them?
I mean, so I have two answers to this. His life hasn't imploded yet. He is a social media mockery right now, but he's still got his wife, still got his kids, as far as we know, and no charges. I hardly call that imploding. Seems to be the U of M effect.
I mean, I think he lost his job and lost his girlfriend. His wife is still just gorgeous. I will say that, but I don't know about his girls. He's got 3 baby girls, bro.
Yeah, and that's so. As a father of girls, obviously not the magnitude of this, but it definitely plays an effect, and his kids will never live a normal life because of the internet and his choices.
Yeah, it's true.
I think what he did was super selfish, but I also think, yes, criminal charges need to be brought. I mean, if they don't, this is the Michigan effect.
Yeah.
I mean, Mozzie Smith didn't have a CPL. It was processing and had a gun in his back seat on campus.
It wasn't concealed, though.
Was it locked up?
I
The magazine
I
separate?
wasn't there. I honestly don't know if it was concealed or not. I just wanted to say that.
Okay, fair. Fair. No,
I just wanted to play devil's advocate there for a minute.
But there tends to be... Michigan tends to always end up the hero, the victor, if you will.
As they should.
I mean, even the tunnel incident. Yes, it went too far. Was it instigated? Probably. On both sides.
Yeah, the
Again,
world
we
may never know.
We're putting pressure on 18, 19-year-old kids.
Yeah.
But, yes, he
18,
definitely needs...
19-year-old thugs in Michigan State's case. But
Whoa. We haven't reached Florida State status yet. But no, yes, he definitely needs criminal charges. I mean, threatening to murder, breaking and entering. If he's anybody else, he would have already been charged.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he would have already seen a judge, and they would have denied bail already.
The problem is, in this scenario, as I'm looking at it, the whole mental health part of it goes, like, it has to take forefront. You have to say, okay, what are we looking at from a mental thing? Is this just a this guy needs to be medicated and this was a meltdown because of not being medicated? There's got to be more layers to it than just the surface level.
Nope.
But there should be more layers to it with everyone, though. It's not just because he's Sherrone Moore. They should be able to, like, take into account mental health issues, and I think our justice system does a really bad job of taking into account. I do think that he will likely receive charges. I think they'll give him a very high number on the bail.
Which he'll post.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think that we need to do a better job of just evaluating mental situations properly before throwing the book at people. That's all.
And this is a struggle with what you just said, because these mental health issues that we know are presumably caused by his own actions. These are self-induced. Like, if you're looking over your shoulder cheating for a year and you've got people reporting this, of course you're going to have higher anxiety. You're going to have mental health issues. And then he snaps when everything breaks. Like,
I completely agree with that. I also know that a lot of those things, though, that lead to that stuff is caused by a chemical imbalance. So it's like, where do you draw the line of self-inflicted versus not? You know, my cousin Christian committed suicide, and I love him dearly. But, you know, I also know that when he died, he had been dead for a long time because his brain was not him anymore, right?
Right.
So, like, what other things have happened that are potentially leading to a similar situation with him?
So
Could it be just the stress of that job?
it very well could be.
Yeah.
I mean, very stressful. However, people who are that far gone when it comes to mental illness, they don't just say they're going to kill themselves.
Yeah.
They take action.
Yeah, most people don't actually want to kill themselves. So if they're just saying it because they got caught, then, I mean, that's kind of weak. You're just trying to manipulate the situation.
That's how I see it right now, playing pity party, playing victim.
Yeah.
But
Could be.
who knows? Like, I really hope he comes out on the right side of this either way.
Even if it takes a couple of years, because if he does get charged, he'll probably spend 2 years behind bars, or they'll end up with time served or something. But
And he's got to go on a hiatus now.
Yeah.
He's not getting back into coaching anytime soon.
probably ever. I don't know how you come.
He'll
back
pick up a
from
high school football gig.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you come back from it, because then you got all the angry parents who are like, "How could you hire the guy? Is he going to sleep with our daughters too?"
She was of age and consented, but whatever. People are weird. But no.
I'm not wrong.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But no, I hope him and his family, and I hope Paige even, because she's dealing with this as well, and I don't want to overshadow her with Sherrone. But these are grown adults who chose this, made this decision, and unpopular opinion, Paige owed his vows, his relationship, nothing.
Yeah.
And so I've seen a lot of people calling her a home-wrecking whore, things of that nature. I disagree wholeheartedly. As somebody who has stepped out several times, I have to hold myself accountable, so I also have to hold him accountable. This was his choice that he made, and he's got to live with the consequences.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. But yeah, I guess we'll just wait and see how it unfolds. Well,
I think it's just going to get wilder, though.
yeah. This is Mr. GM Sports signing off.
Can I give you my one last hot take?
Yeah, Mr. Motown, take us out.
He was going for the NFL. Sherrone was sleeping with her to get in the good graces of her father, a Chicago Bears NFL scout.
I mean, it just depends on how much pull he has. You never know. Maybe, but it depends on how much pull he has.
Or how much push he's got. But all right, guys, y'all have a good night. Hope you enjoyed the show.
And peace.